Well, no, the predicate is that Portland has been occupied by Antifa for quite some time. You guys keep calling them protests. These aren't protests. These are violent people. They're attacking law enforcement. They're attacking federal facilities. The President of the United States has every obligation to defend federal facilities and federal personnel there. I agree with you. It is a disgrace. It's a disgrace that we have an American city that is essentially being occupied by left-wing radicals, and the locals won't do anything about it. And so now the president...
Exaggeration of what's
it
happening
is not
in
an
Portland.
exaggeration.
I mean,
I see the video.
That's Republican Scott Jennings flat out dismantling CNN's ridiculous attempt to spin Portland's ICE facility under siege as some harmless little scuffle, when the reality is that rioters are launching fireworks at federal officers, smashing windows, causing violence, and terrorizing people. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and it looks like CNN is back to pretending violent left-wing mobs are just protesters while lecturing Trump supporters about so-called threats to democracy. Because when Antifa mobs storm an ICE facility, injure officers, and blind them with lasers, establishment media shrugs it off as business as usual. Here's Abby Phillip trying that routine and Jennings calling her out.
Also in the administration's crosshairs is Portland, Oregon. Once again, after a MAGA influencer was arrested during a scuffle outside of an ICE facility, this is what they had to say.
We're sending in the Department of War at the request that I made to Secretary Hegseth. They're going to be rolling in here within the next 24 hours. What we saw happen to that journalist last night will not happen again.
There's no conversation about the police's overreach or the military's overreach in these communities when folks who disagree with this administration bring these claims as well.
By local officials has been described as something that's essentially happening in one city block of Portland.
They are assaulting the ICE facilities. They are assaulting the ICE agents.
It's a city, and it's not a perfect city, but it is a city. And something occurring in one city block is suddenly Portland is war ravaged.
Do you dispute that they've attacked the ICE facility?
I didn't say anything about that. I said that it's happening in one block of the city.
Is that,
so
how many blocks is it?
Does that constitute Portland being a war-ravaged city?
I think what's happened in Portland is a disgrace. Nobody wants to go there. And yes, parts of the city are ravaged by these protesters, and federal officials
the city as being
believe their facilities are under attack.
Even when there are violent protests, which, by the way, nothing new about violent protests, as you know.
So it's not new, so we should let it go.
When violent protests happen, law enforcement has a responsibility to handle it, but would you describe an entire city as war-ravaged when there are protests, even if they're violent, that's happening outside of a single building?
Yes, I would say if there are violent protests happening against a federal facility, they are being ravaged. I completely agree with that language.
Okay, all right.
You know, Phillip acts like President Trump sending in reinforcements is some authoritarian move when the reality is Portland's ICE facility has legitimately been under siege. DHS documented over 100 rioters storming the grounds, smashing windows, throwing rocks, and even sending officers to the hospital. One woman was charged with felony assault for spraying paint in an officer's face. Pretending this is overblown is pure media gaslighting, which is why the liberal hacks on the panel had to immediately shift to their favorite deflection of bringing up J6.
What I'm saying is there you have it. What you have here is a clear blueprint of what we're talking about. You have a double standard in the way that this is looked. On the one hand, you have violent people that attack the seat of power in the United States of America. And not only are they pardoned, they are celebrated.
But they did go to jail.
And then they are celebrated by your side when you guys get power.
They did go to jail.
And now we are getting a full-throated lecture on violence and protest when ICE is breaking into people's homes.
I mean, I would counter that. You can't even pull up January 6th because we can just go back 6 months before that with the Black Lives Matter riots and how many people were not arrested for their crimes. Where were the arrests at? Where were the arrests?
Virtually nobody got arrested.
Where were
the arrests? Guys, let's not do the hyperbole thing, okay? Hundreds of people were arrested in the Black Lives Matter protests.
That wasn't nearly enough.
Many of them were prosecuted federally.
Billions in damage.
Hold on a second.
David Dorn,
many of them were prosecuted federally. Many of them served time for those offenses. So that actually happened. Let's not be hyperbolic about it. Caroline.
You know, it's always the same move with these people. Drag out J6 as some unique evil while memory-holding BLM riots that killed people, caused billions in damage, and got cover from Democrat politicians, Hollywood celebrities, and corporate America. Kamala Harris herself boosted bail funds for rioters while cities painted murals in their honor. I mean, Phillip acted like BLM rioters were held accountable. But according to The Guardian, of all places, the vast majority of charges against them were dropped or dismissed. Most of them never spent a single day in jail. Meanwhile, Portland has dealt with years of Antifa chaos, attacks on synagogues, federal buildings, and now ICE facilities. Jennings is right, the establishment narrative runs on selective outrage and zero accountability. But let me know what you think. Is CNN deliberately gaslighting Americans about Portland's violence to protect the left? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!